All right, good morning, YouTube. We are live. Going to go ahead and invite the Telegram now. If you guys aren't in the Telegram, go ahead and join. The link's going to be in the video description. We are about to jump in. I'll let everyone get in and then we'll start jumping straight into things. Good morning, brother. How you doing? How'd your trading day go yesterday? I ended up taking, I'll show you, a short on US CAD and it did not play out. It was based on this level before yesterday closed. But it was like the alert went off way later in the evening. This was the trade. And it was like way too late in the day. And I'm not gonna lie, I ended up getting tagged out. It was like the trade entered at like 12:45 when the alert went off and everything, and I ended up getting tagged out. So it was US CAD too, so it's a little bit less when it comes to lot size and whatnot. So we're down just like 1.8% on this account right now. We've got like 8.2% to go. So we've got plenty of breathing room, just taking it slow, trading 5 lots, just 10 leverage. But one thing that is kind of throwing me off is like the big amount of trading hours. You guys know I was placing my trades around 9 a.m. every day. I want to try to do that within the context of what we're doing right now, because the fact that I had an alert go off at like 1 p.m. yesterday and I took a trade because of it, it's just not in line with like how I've done well in the past, which is like placing trades in the morning at 9 a.m. That's when the market's really going to have its chance to make its move. So that being said, we cannot I can't do that again. But you make mistakes. That's why I'm risking like smaller right now, and that's why I'm trading a 50K. Coming out of that 500K messed me up pretty bad. So especially with like just all the problems with that firm and whatnot, I had like a really like just down week emotionally. So I'm still coming out of that, trying to get my footing and whatnot. And my like I just kind of like lost touch with the markets at that point. So uh, when you start making small mistakes, this is honestly like this is a good lesson. Like when I was playing poker the other night, this past weekend, I knew honestly when I was gonna start like spiraling, because I had made like a medium sized bet on something like I just didn't even have any cards, and then I noticed I was like, oh, I should probably walk away right now. I'm starting to play bad, and I didn't. But but what I'm saying is the whole point of what I'm saying is there's things that we'll catch ourselves doing where it's like it's gonna happen, right? You're gonna like take a trade later in the evening, outside of trading hours, because the setup looks good, and then you're gonna be shown that hey, you shouldn't have taken it because you don't have volume on your side, and the markets just weren't gonna move. So things like that, instead of it being like you're gonna spiral, it's an indication that you could spiral. So it's like, okay, you really need to take a step back at that point, and it's like, okay, why have I strayed from what I was doing that was working? And it's like, go back to that. So for me, we're gonna get in a trade at 9 a.m. That's what we're gonna do. That's what I've been good at. We've got the daily candle context. So just so you guys know, these blue lines are daily candles that we have closed above recently. So we've closed above those daily candles. I'm on the 4 hour right now. And then the red lines are going to be daily candles that we've closed below. So anything with red lines on it right now, I have a daily bias of us being bearish, which is all these assets. And then on these pairs, it's a daily bias of being bullish. Now, we're going to look kind of just to try to get in. Like this trade's already like bullish, right? We don't need it to pull back anymore, and I'll show you why. It's bullish because we've already pushed higher, pulled back below, and now we're trending higher again, which the market can run as much higher as it wants at this point. So I guess what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for, like, if we're getting in at 9 a.m. and this is 1 a.m. and this is 5 a.m., we need to look at the daily bias. Which direction are we going on a daily basis? Have we already pulled back into one of those ICC areas? And then do we have like a liquidity on the previous candles? And then if we get in at 9 a.m., we're going to want to continue with the pair that's got like the most liquidity. So like US yen would be a great pair because you can see it's got those daily ranges we closed above, it pulled back, it's traded higher again, and now it's tried to come lower, but you can see right here it's established this low in which we are just grabbing it for, I guess, more momentum to go higher. Whereas opposed to like US CAD right now, same exact scenario, right? These candles closed higher than this ICC high, this daily high. We pulled back beneath, we got above it again. But like if we're to get in at 9 a.m. and we're going to try to continue this move, we don't really have a good stop loss anywhere because you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 4-hour candles in a row. These are all lows that are open, right? They're all open. The most recent one that's not open is this one down here, which that would have been great to get in, you know, at that time last night. You can see now that one's actually the one that gets respected. You trade back above there, but there's no re-entries. Like the only way we're going to get a re-entry outside of an ICC range is, and it's only if you have another like low that you grabbed already, right? It's all candle structure and whatnot. So the fact that you grab this low and respect it, now you shouldn't have to be as worried about, like, let's say you put your trade right here. You should not have to be as worried about your stop getting hit right here because the people that had their stops right here, they had got taken out, especially at 9 a.m., right? So that wick will likely fill. We'll see when it gets closer. Good morning, guys. Sorry, I'm reading the chat some. You'll have to tell me what modifications you made to the macro range. And are you trading it on like NQ or ES? Are you still trading futures with it? I really want to know because that one was one I was really upset that I let get away from me because it was such a good strategy. It was such a good strategy, but it just started like getting kind of like random and I lost touch with it. But okay, if we are gonna look at pairs that are going in direction with their daily bias, this is definitely like one of them, and it's definitely one that's taking, you know, liquidity. So we got a safe place to put our stop. Now U.S. franc might be one too, but you can see we're pushing quite a bit already. Like, but at the same time too, we're respecting that ICC high that we want to trade back above, right? So we've kind of got those things in our favor. Oh, I gotta stretch some. Jeez. We'll tag it up. We'll tag it up. US CAD, like I think we just looked at, it doesn't really like, we're back above this level. Yes, we want to go here. We just got no safe spot right now to put our stop. New Zealand US dollar. This could be a good trade, and I'll tell you why. We haven't pulled back all the way up into here. But if you look at the majority of our other pairs, they have. In New Zealand US dollar at this point, it's grabbed, you know, a candle high right here at 1 a.m. It's also grabbed, you know, these other candle highs that had got left unopened. The thing is, though, the fact that we hadn't pulled all the way back is a very good sign that like this asset's more leaning more towards continuing doing what it's doing than all the other ones, because all the other ones are pulling back a lot more. Right, so sometimes that's a good thing. That's a good thing to pay attention to. Just so you guys know, if you're looking across multiple assets and you see like you're trying to see what they're all doing, and all the pairs are pulling back super deep into those ranges again. Look at even GBP USD pulled back into that range. Euro US dollar pulled back into that range. AUD US dollar pulled back into the range, but then New Zealand dollar, it's staying outside and it's refusing to even get up there. That means this was probably got a lot more weight on the sell side. So like if we were to take a short and it being what's it called? Grabbing that liquidity already, you just go to fill that wick. You could even go to fill the bottom of the range. You're having a high risk to reward. It's probably playing out. We could probably, since we're doing low risk, we could probably fire off a few trades. We could probably, because they're in alignment, right? But like we could take, and we probably wouldn't take too many. We probably wouldn't take this one just because it would probably be negative risk to reward. I'd have to see. But if we were to put our stop like behind here and take profit up here, yeah, we probably wouldn't want our money on that one, even though it's probably an easy low-hanging fruit. It's just negative. And then US yen, this is probably going to remain positive. We got 14 minutes though until this candle closes. Of course, you don't want to get in before the candle closes, because if this candle flips and goes lower, then it's really not a good trade. New Zealand, probably the best risk to reward, but still, like, it didn't pull back, so it could be a good thing for us, or it could need to pull back still. It could need to. On NQ, yes. Yeah, you'll have to let me know. So, like, if you're taking all the trades, it's probably, like, you probably are just getting enough numbers for it to constantly be turning, like, back winners, right? So, like, are you taking it, like, from, I mean, I don't know where you live, but, like, where I live, it's pretty much like you would trade it from, like, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Market opens at 9:30. So you probably just trade it during, like, all tradable hours, right? Except for, like, after hours. Oh yeah, Euro US dollar too. My bad. This might be the best of the best, just because you're also getting that 4-hour close below this place right here, below that ICC. So you actually did have the pullback, and now the close below, and the liquidity grab. Like, this could be the best trade here. I don't think these other ones have potential at all. Let me check. So our only ones with real potential are US dollar yen, which is climbing right now. US dollar Swiss franc. New Zealand US dollar. Euro US dollar. Yesterday's trade, hey John, what's up, brother? Yeah, yesterday's trade, what ended up being a loss on US CAD, a small loss, just under 1%. But I ended up taking a short right around in here. It was like almost 1 p.m., but my alert went way off, and it was just like way too late in the day, way too late in the day. So we're gonna get in at 9. We've got a few options actually. These aren't trades we're in; they're trades that we're considering. Really, I'm leaning to, so here's the thing. Whichever one looks the best, it doesn't really matter. The biggest thing is which one's going to give the highest risk to reward too. And it doesn't look like US yen or US franc. It looks like it might be Euro US dollar, which honestly, I'm like, that's not only is it the highest risk reward, but it also looks the best just in terms of where price is and what price is doing. But we'll see. We got like 9 minutes. Yeah, that's probably one of the best moves you could have made with trying to make it profitable, was stop trading the 9 a.m. candle. But you know, you and I know it was working for like 3 months straight in the beginning of this year. So we couldn't have known it was gonna stop working, you know what I mean? But that 9 a.m. candle on ES would like just boom, like 12 weeks in a row just would be like the main trade. And then it just started getting like just wicking us out left and right. All right, so something to pay attention to too. It's like, all right, which candle, like what, same thing with the concept of the daily candles. Which direction are daily candles closing? We really want to see what direction these 4-hour candles are closing too, probably. Which it looks like up on all those pairs. US yen is the only one that's like the 4-hour candles did not get below the other ones. So US yen honestly is probably the most bullish right now. We'll have to see though. We got what? 9. Yeah, I'm still leaning more towards New Zealand US dollar or Euro US dollar. And I'm leaning most towards Euro US dollar just because too our stop loss would be able to be back behind this range. On New Zealand US dollar, our stop loss is behind that liquidity grab, but it's not really behind much else. US dollar Swiss franc, it would be behind the liquidity grab and the range, but it would be 0.7 R. This one would not be. So yeah, Euro US dollar is definitely our trade today. It's in the best spot. It's in the best spot. I wish it never stopped working. I liked trading futures, but it just got to a place where I just felt like I couldn't read it at all. Okay. Let me make sure I have my actual chart. Yeah, and the 15 minutes get bearish too. You could probably even see on the smaller time frames, we're creating lower highs now and lower lows. So we've got structure on our side too at this point even. We'll enter on this candle close. We just want to make sure it closes where we want it to. Yeah, open up my Notion. If I can get it to grab. Jeez. It's not working. There we go. Okay. We're pulling back a little bit. We're pulling back a little bit. Hopefully we can maintain closing lower than this range. That's the ideal move. All these pairs kind of pulling back some. New Zealand flipped bullish on this candle. Euro might not be the trade just because we're getting back up in that range. We don't want to close in that range. I'd rather take US yen or US franc, which is already up and out of the range, than trade back up in that range right now. We might be going with US dollar JPY. The 4-hour candles aren't like bearish right now. Yeah, we closed below this one, but then the bull candle started taking over again. Euro's getting below though for us. It's literally getting below. Oh yeah, let's check these pairs. We're gonna take US yen. We're gonna take US yen. It's most likely to continue what it's doing. Euro's getting back under there though. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. We might have to go with Euro though, just because of this range protection. Having our stop behind that range is a lot better than not. At the same time too though, moving away from this range as much as it has is a good thing. But has it moved too much is the question. New Zealand US dollar, not really looking as good as it was. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to take EU. It looked like we weren't gonna want to take it, but it started getting strong back below that level again. I'm about to put 5 lots on Euro US dollar for a short sell right here. We'll move my thing over shortly. 10 seconds. I just want to make sure we close. Alright, we closed below that level that we wanted to close below. Let's see, what price did we get in at? We got in at 48. Alright, we got in right here. 2.36 risk to reward. Solid. Let's put our take profit on. Alright, let me show you guys the trade that we're actually in. This is the Euro US dollar trade that we just entered. The account is down like 1.8% right now, so this is our 9 a.m. trade. We haven't had one in a little bit. I needed it. I definitely needed a 9 a.m. trade because I've been just not doing good trying to like find my trade in all other parts of the day, and this is probably going to be like our highest quality setup we've had in a while. So I like it, and we'll just let it ride. Honestly, I think price is going much lower overall on euro. Like we just shifted from this small little uptrend we were in. I think we could honestly be coming much lower down to these lows. I think that's where like the next place to go is if we're going to continue moving down. But we're not going to try to get the whole thing. We're just going to try to get this candle low based on what we just grabbed liquidity on and got back below that range. So this is going to be our trade. Let's move. Oh gosh, I did not mean to open the Play Store. All right. So this is the trade we're in. And we got it on the 1 hour. Let's see something. Let's see. Yeah, we're still bearish, getting bearish on the 15 minute. It was just really good that we came and rejected going higher off of there to get back under. Well, we'll hang out for a little bit. We'll watch it play out some. Yeah, Jake, that's a good question. There is news coming out at 10. We're going to see where the trade is. I think best case scenario is we just try to cover risk. Worst case scenario, we just let it play out. Because here's the thing. I don't know how bad the spreads kick up on this prop firm, but my idea is that they're not going to kick up like crazy on the audition. They will kick up on crazy on the funded account though, for sure, probably. So I'm going to make sure I don't do that. But if anything, we'll just try to cover risk. You see, the thing is sometimes is that news is what is like literally needed to take your trade to where it needs to go. Sometimes. Like you'll notice if you look at like news releases and whatnot, if you look at the structure after and like what price is doing, a lot of the times it actually played out with like how it should have. There's a few times though where it doesn't. But like the fundamentals are already embedded into the charts. They're what is like the algos combined with the fundamentals and like how they want to like basically tell the story is already like baked into price, right? So the anticipation of the news is what's forming the structure before the news, and you know like things are printing very specifically, but it's just super complex. It's just super complex, so it's hard to get a read on sometimes. It's like honestly, it is like in poker. Like if you could always tell, like if you're just trying to figure out what you have, or what your cards can be good with, on the board, it's you're not gonna do very well. You have to not just consider how you have a chance to win, but you have to consider what your opponent could have to win, right? And so like in trading right now, like you have to consider, okay, if we're a seller, I'm telling, like we just broke down all the reasons why we could get ourselves today and why we could win as a seller. We also have to understand though, like why buyers could win and what they're looking at right now. Now, what buyers are probably looking at right now, and I mean we haven't done this too often, is like talked about like the opposite of our trade, but they probably are looking at like this low just got grabbed, right? And they're probably looking at this 4-hour candles closing a lot stronger than all these previous ones, right? They're probably looking at this fair value gap here, but it's like it's crazy. There's literally reasons for both, right? We've got, you know, this key level that buyers probably aren't considering, that had we stayed within and had we just maybe retested just it and then kept going up like this, they would have a lot more reason. So, but like for me as a seller, coming back below this level, I know last time we went below this level, we went right here. So it's like if we're trading back below here again and we're grabbing liquidity like this, I've got reason to go here. So I like sells more than I like buys, because for me, a fair value gap like this isn't just enough. But if we had like maybe a strong reaction on this next candle, like let's say this next candle was our candle in off that fair value gap into this range again, like there'd be more reason probably to stay bullish. So just looking at things like that, like knowing like what the person on the other side of your trade could be looking at. Let's see how those other trades are playing out. There wouldn't have even been a trade on New Zealand US dollar. It kind of closed a little bit higher, so we're gonna just untag that. And this would be, we'll just keep it drawn on. It's negative risk to reward, so we probably don't even need to look at it, but or consider it. And then US yen, I just got a feeling it's probably like got the most volume right now to move where it needs to. So like these are really like, after looking at everything today, we'll take that off. US dollar JPY, only really good trade along with Euro US dollar. These are really our only two good trades that I really like today. They're given, you know, they have that ICC play on both of them, right? We got back below this level, and then at the same time too, you're seeing that at 9 a.m. we just grabbed liquidity. We just had a liquidity sweep right before our trading hour at 9 a.m. So these are probably the best two trades out of everything. We can just kind of sweep and clear the charts up on the other pairs, because at 5 p.m. today we'll have to mark up new daily levels to just have context when we come back to the markets tomorrow. Pound dollar though, I do believe is going to make a good move. It's probably not going to make it at 9 a.m. or it didn't make it at 9 a.m. today, but it might set up to go short still. I really do think it will, because like if you look at pound dollar right now, we're super bearish, right? If we get below this level, this isn't as important. You can see just kind of like some noise up in here, but this is a daily level, I believe. Yeah, it is. If we get below one of these three levels, mainly this one, you don't want to pull back deep. A lot of people think you want deep pullbacks. You do not want to pull back deep. If you got three levels to go short under, this is a real like gem that I'm going to put you guys onto. If you got these three levels that you want to get short below, you ideally want to get short below here. And I'll tell you why. Because the deeper it pulls back, that means the weaker these sellers are getting. If you have just a simple pullback to that first level, you start trading back below there again, it is going to be the stronger trade, 100%, especially during high volume. But let's say we were pulled back all the way up to here right now. Yeah, if we trade lower than here, we have a chance to come all the way down here. But you got to think about this. This much of the move literally just got wiped out. And that means that buyers were strong enough to pull that move back by like 70%. That's why, like, if you know OTE theory, the optimal trade entry theory, basically like ICT talks about it, but he's the one who mainstreamed it. But it comes from stock traders, and when stock traders would try to buy an asset like a stock or whatever, they're looking for like an optimal pullback, right? And that's between 50%, like 62%, 70.5%, and 79%. Well, the idea is that 79%, if it pulls back deeper than 79%, it's not like you're getting it at a discount anymore. It's not good anymore. It's like if you're pulling back past 79%, it's not like a good deal. It's a worthless buy. Is the whole idea behind it. So ideally, you do want to pull back like 50%, right? Um, but and that's when you kind of set up for that optimal trade. That's when you're getting your premium sells or your discounted buys. Um, but at the same time too, you and I both know that a lot of good trades, we could probably just cherry pick one, honestly. A lot of good trades don't pull back. Like when a market's really strong, it does not pull back 50%. Like this is a perfect example right here, right? This market got bullish right in here. And then like had you been waiting for it to pull back 50%, it just doesn't happen because that market's so strong, right? It's so strong and then it continues higher, 50% being right here. So that's how you, and this is a lot of money to be made right in here, right? And it's because you really don't want deep pullbacks. Contrary to what everyone tells you, the shorter the pullback, the better. That's why I was like today, US yen, like this entire run up, it hadn't even pulled back 50%, right? From these highs, it never even got there. So it's like, this is like the money's just on this side, right? And the only reason I picked Euro US dollar over this pair is just because it's got more stop loss protection. We don't really have like a level to put our stop behind, whereas on Euro US dollar we've got this daily level that we're reacting off of right now. That's just even more confluence, right? It's another layer of protection. So plus too, the fact like if we're gonna put our money behind a trade at all, we might as well put it behind the one that's got a better ROI. This one has like half of the ROI the other one has. Hey John, it's really daily ICC, but yeah, 4 hour I 4 hour CRT inside of the daily ICC. 4 hour CRT by itself is not. It's super like mixed. Like you're not really gonna do too well with it. But what I mean by daily ICC is it's taking what's the most recent daily candle close, and like it in this case Euro US dollar, it happens to be Tuesday closing beyond Monday and Friday. And so these 2 points right here are levels to trade back below. And so going to the 4 hour now, I just love entering at 9 a.m. I love entering on that 4 hour candle close. It's inside of one of the most important macros of the day in Forex, that 8:50 to 9:10, entry time. So 9 a.m. candle close is perfect. We are basically taking those levels that we want to trade back below and combining it with a liquidity grab, which is a 4 hour CRT, and then just looking to continue what price is doing. So yeah, this is a piece of it, but the main thing is we want to be, price got below that level last time. Where'd it go? It came here. We're getting back below that level again, and we're rejecting previous highs and whatnot. So it's that's the idea behind it. But yeah, that's a 4 hour CRT right here. One thing I just learned about 4 hour CRT though is it's super accurate at the right spot though. Like it's hard to find the right spot for it. Like if you backtest 4 hour CRT by itself with no other context, it makes it super difficult to be profitable with it. But here's the thing. If you take CRT, right, 4 hour CRT, you combine it with like a daily key, like daily levels like this, daily highs and lows, and you have like other assets to compare it between, you have to think about this. Euro US dollar might only give you one good trade this week. US dollar CAD might give you two good trades this week, and it might be on different days. Then pound dollar might give you another good trade this week, but it might be on a different day. So that's the thing too. You'll be able to pick like the best one on a daily basis um, when you have a few different things to look between. So we've got higher time frame context. We've got multiple assets, which led to like picking the best one for the day. We've got levels that we're trading off of, so it should make it much more profitable than it would be without those things. Is the idea. Um, but the main reason I'm getting into a trade is really these levels and looking to continue the daily trend that the daily candles are going. The 4-hour CRT just gives us a good spot right now at this point to put our stop loss because we know liquidity's been grabbed here, right? So if our stop gets hit now, the trade's either just flat out wrong or the liquidity grab's getting liquidity grabbed. That's the idea, right? So the 4-hour CRT, it's a beautiful way to put your stop loss in a place where liquidity's already been grabbed. So that you know like you don't have a good chance of getting wicked out, right? So like that's another reason too we honestly could stay into this 10 a.m. folder is because our stop loss is behind where it already grabbed liquidity, right? Like if we go to the smaller time frame, this was like the liquidity grab right up in here. So it had already happened. That it's that London 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. candle that we already swept highs at. Yeah, John, for sure. I'd love anything that's gonna help me with like just understanding candle range theory and whatnot because it works. It works. The problem is that you guys know Romeo, the one who like pushes it a lot. If you combine Psy and Romeo, I really believe we're gonna have like the best of both worlds because they're the only two. Like CRT does work. It's just super. You gotta have an eye for it, and the same thing with what Psy does. You have to have an eye for it. But like you can see like the times it plays out. It's not random. I bet USDN's probably. It's not pushing as much as I thought it was. We'll probably hang out until that folder comes out. We're pretty much at break even right here on this trade. This should put the account up in profit though. Given we go the whole way, right? Let's see. This is really our trade. I think too, yeah, if you look at like yesterday, there just wouldn't have been a single trade yesterday. Like with a good place like to trade below or back at 9 a.m. at least. There was just nothing at 9 a.m. Yesterday. And then I end up taking that 1 p.m. trade. Which it's alright. We risked like we only lost like 0.8% or whatever it was, but that's that 0.8% that you need to hold on to. It's those you just need to keep stacking those. You got to think about it like this. Every 0.8% or 1% or whatever you risk on a trade that you don't lose it's really gained because if I can like do away with a lot of these small losses on my accounts that I take for no reason sometimes, that stuff adds up. That stuff adds up big time. Over time that like will seriously increase the size of your account. Let's go back out to the 4-hour. Yeah, we won't keep the streams running too long. Like I said, like these are gonna, or like the title says, these are gonna be mainly set and forget streams. But I kind of want to hang out until that news comes out. But we got 40 minutes. We might just have like, we might just have to check the charts at 10 a.m. We'll hang out for a little bit longer though, cause like I try to keep the streams at like an hour. We'll see how it plays out a little bit more. We haven't moved much at all, but just so you guys know what trade I'm in for the day. This is going to be my only trade today. I'm not getting in anything else. And I'm likely, not likely, I'm going, just so you guys know, I'm going to let this one play out fully. I'm going to let it sit through 10 a.m. as well. Because I don't see, well, we also need, our risk is low enough on this account to see if they widen the spread too. Which it's gonna sound like probably an irresponsible thing to do, but I kind of need to see how like this account trades, because they let you trade news in the audition, so I can stay in news during the audition. In the live account though, I checked in on it, and you can't be in it like 5 minutes before or during or 5 minutes after, which that's fine. But I just need to know if their spread goes like crazy, and this is like a small account. It's like a 50K, so it's like the perfect time to see. But at the same time too, the only other reason, just so you guys know, I don't feel like completely irresponsible holding it through, is liquidity's already been grabbed. So there's no need for them to grab liquidity again. They can. There's no need for them to. And like the markets are literally, I believe, setting themselves up for that folder. And in doing so, they've got back below that level we want to get back below. They've grabbed the liquidity they want to grab. So where's like the real liquidity that they're going to be targeting now? In my opinion, it's those buyers, which is right here. So that's like the idea, right? Like, yes, the news is going to run towards liquidity, but where is it going to, like, what's the liquidity it's going to run towards? Is it going to be us? Are we going to be the draw on liquidity, or is it going to be down here, the buyers, which I believe it's going to be these buyers down here, and I believe this is going to be the money that they're looking to target, right? I've been wrong before, you all know that, but I do believe that's what's probably going to happen. But yeah, I was looking back on kind of what we're doing now at like the rest of this week. This is Monday. This is like the only other real setup that happened this week with kind of what we're doing. And that was AUD US dollar. It was AUD US dollar on Monday. And that's the only other pair that really had like a liquidity grab before 9 a.m. The thing is too though, it was going against this uptrend. So it's like that the daily candles were going higher. We don't even know if we would have taken it. But you can see that 1 a.m., 5 a.m. grabs liquidity. And then, you know, the next candle, it does end up going and targeting those lows, which it would be like this. And then you would be like, there's no way you're sitting on the stream for this whole thing, but price does end up going all the way down. And that was the only other trade setup that was like similar to the one we're taking this week, but the problem is this one was kind of against trend, or I guess against the daily bias. But it's like so high, it's like overextended to a point where it's like, yeah, you could probably get price to fall back. So like you could see we were due for a pullback, and that happening at 9 a.m. on Monday on AUD US dollar wasn't unreasonable. It was not an unreasonable move. Hey John, I don't know if you tried to send it, but what's the name of that video that you're talking about, if you're still here? Poker stream, Jake? Should we? I've got it on my computer. I've got Ignition Poker. Or what if we did it would be cool to do some type of stream where it's not even like we're not even playing for money, but we had like some type of like private table. I'll have to look into this, and we could just play for fun and like talk with each other, and like it could be like 8 people at the table or whatever, and we could like first come first serve, and if you get knocked out, someone else gets in. That would be fun. Hey, if anyone else would be down to do that on like a Saturday or something like that, let me know in the chat and we'll do it. I'll literally write it down right now. Just completely for free, just for fun to just talk, play against each other. The problem is though, the problem is though, you guys would be able to see my cards now that I'm thinking about it. If you guys were watching the stream, there has to be a way around it. We'll figure it out. Either way, too, though, we could do a poker stream. Oh, cool. What's a Man, I don't speak Spanish at all, but I could find a way to get it translated. Yeah, I'm like thinking this is a great idea. Like we could all play poker together on stream, but then everyone would see my cards. There would have to be a way. There would have to be a way to have like a viewer version of the table, and then like for me to have it on the other screen. What's the video called, John? RJ, what's up, man? No, we dropped out of it, brother. Yeah, I didn't know if you saw any updates, but basically we ended up failing. We had a rough week with that spread widening, and then we ended up getting the account back. They ended up giving it to me back, but then just the markets weren't following my edge at that point in time anymore. Went on like a 3 week win streak, and just ended up going into like a little bit of a spiral. But we didn't even trade like out of our plan. We were just losing like 3 4 trades in a row, and I was like, dang. So we're back in a 50K. We're trying to get our head back on straight, trying to get clarity again. So we're just live streaming a 50K account right now. We're down 1.8%. This is our third trade on it. You guys can see. This is the trade we're in right now. This is a 2-step as well. I'm with a different firm as well. My experience with the last was just awful, to be honest with you. So I'm trading with Funding Pips right now, and basically I'm taking a 2-step instead of a 1-step. No trailing drawdown, 10% static drawdown, 50K. We're gonna take it slow. We're gonna go easy, and this should be an account we're in for a good amount of time, and we should just be able to kind of get, like I just said, our head back on straight, and get our clarity back before we go into a bigger account again. The only problem though with this firm is I don't think they've got big accounts. I think their biggest account's 100K. I'll have to double check though. Which, that you can make good money off 100K. We might just move up to 100K after some time, but it's 9:30 right now. New York Open. I'm copying this, John. Thank you for sending this over. I'm gonna watch it later. I'm gonna chat GBT how to translate a YouTube video for me. But you know what? I wonder if you can. Probably not. I was gonna say closed captions, but in English. I don't know though. We'll figure it out. If anything, I'll just try to watch it and see if I can see what he's saying too, just from watching it. But I appreciate you sending that. But RJ, the 500K showed us that, getting funded 500,000, big milestone. Showed us that it's not time to throw in the towel yet. Even though I wanted to when I lost it, I'm not gonna lie. It's upsetting. It's a battlefield, this game of trading, with your emotions, trying to overcome those old belief systems, and really all that self-doubt. It's super, super hard. Like, honestly, I kind of get like I kind of get upset when I see, like, people in the trading space talking about, oh, it's all psychology, all this and that, and like they make it super surface level. But like, if they were to be completely transparent and honest about how the trading journey is it's like a dark night of your soul. You have to go to the depths of yourself, and it's like everything has to fall apart in front of your very eyes over and over and over again, and shatter, your belief systems when it comes to the markets, time and time again. And it's like this, like, constant cycle that you have to just go through. That's like a downward spiral until you like hit rock bottom in so many different areas when it comes to trading. And like, it's like an awful experience. So like, the whole point of me saying this is like, people chalk it up as like, you just got to get your head on straight. You got to, it's all psychology. Well, it's like, no, this is like, what we're really talking about is like a ruthless and terrifying experience you have to go through to really break through emotionally and internally in these different areas. And it's not something that you'd probably wish on someone else, or try to tell them to walk through, unless they were like fully in on it, like unless they were set on trading being their thing. Because you know how many times I've thought about, like, man, if I just would have went into business 4 years ago, where I would be right now. And it's like, it's not guaranteed to have been super successful in business, but I can guarantee, like, I probably would have made more money so far from getting into business. But at the same time, even if trading takes twice as long, it's going to have a lot more rewards than just being successful at business would have, right? A lot more freedom, a lot more, I feel like, enjoyment in my work too. But it's not something that comes quick, I'll say that. Because it's not all psychology too, right? You have to have a good edge. We could sit here with the best psychology in the world and place trade after trade after trade, but if they don't win, no one's making money, you know what I mean? Hey RJ, break even's a good place to be though, because now, like, you're not losing money. It's a good place to be. It's a tough place to get out of though. Like, I'll say, going from, so you go from being like unprofitable to being break even, and then going from break even to being profitable. But going from break even to being profitable is like a million times harder than it is from going from negative to break even. It took me like 11 months to get from net, like, because I lost money for the first 11 months of trading, and then I started getting break even. Then it took me like 2 years to start making money after I got break even, which I'm not saying that's going to be the case for you. Like, I tried to learn a lot on my own, and I didn't really like have much opportunity to shorten the learning curve, I guess you could say. Um, but it just takes time. It takes time, and then here's the thing too. Once you do get profitable, like, it's really difficult to like always be profitable, is what I found. Like, the markets are just sometimes, like, there's going to be like weeks at a time where you can just read the markets perfectly and they play out exactly like you think they're going to. And then it's going to shift into a period of 1 to 2 weeks where it's just like you can't make sense of them. And then it'll go back to a period of like 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, where you can make complete perfect sense of them again. And then it does the same thing, back and forth, back and forth. And it's just trying to hold on to your capital, and trying to, like, not crash out when it does shift like that. But we'll hang in here until what's it called comes out. We got only a few more minutes, and then we'll close the stream. Then we'll close the stream for the day. We'll see if my theory is right about this being the draw on liquidity. Hopefully we're not the draw on. I believe that this is already, we've already taken liquidity right here. And it's like, granted, yes, this is taking liquidity too, but you have to think about the markets. They move from external to internal, right? So yeah, we took external liquidity, but now we came up here and we took internal liquidity. So now where are we going again? We're going back to external. So that's the idea, right? You can even see how the market does that right here. What did we do? On this green candle, we took internal. Then where'd we go? We targeted external down here. And then where'd we go back up? We went back up the other way. So liquidity is like a game of ping pong, right? Like, and the whole point in me saying this is because if you are focused as a buyer right now on this being a liquidity grab of that previous candle or whatnot, right? Yes, that is 100% true. That price grab liquidity right here and even on these candles over here. But liquidity runs from pool of liquidity to pool of liquidity. So this is not the most recent liquidity we're concerned with. It happened, yeah, it's 100% true. But then price came up here and now it's grabbed a different set of liquidity. So where's price going to run next to? It's probably going to run to liquidity right here. It could run right here and like flip up, but it's more likely to come for this point, right? This is not as significant as this point. So yeah, liquidity is 100% like a constant game of ping pong back and forth going from pool to pool. Let's check up on US yen. US yen's actually pulling negative. That's another thing too. It's so far outside of this range right now and it already pulled back and made a move. It's like we don't have as much protecting that trade as this trade. Right now you can even see on Euro US dollar, this level is like holding, like we're not trying to get back above there right now. So it's just better to have our stop loss inside of that range when we're outside of the range. I did not mean to do that. About open WordPress. $75 hard. I still kind of do it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm always working out. I'm always reading. I'm always doing those things. I was kind of probably being weak-minded back then when I was trying to do the challenge with the community. Man, I never saw so many people just like start sending hate mail. I was like, dang, not like hate mail, but in the comments. I was like, fine, I'll do it by myself, but that probably wasn't fair to the people that really were doing along with me. So, but I had honestly been doing like kind of the same thing like every day already, but I was like trying to just kind of get other people into like, you know, the workout lifestyle and just trying to get healthy and whatnot. But I probably need to be a little more consistent than I've been, because I've been working out like maybe 4 times a week right now, 5 times a week. Really, I need to be working out like 6 days a week, 7 if I can. But yeah, 75 hard poker streams. We got a lot coming up. We could do poker streams though. Is that allowed on YouTube? Does anyone know? Could you do poker streams for money? We could just do it like once a week on the weekends, just for a little bit. Because like I have online poker on my computer. It's called Ignition. It's like one of the biggest ones in the United States and one of the only ones you can really trade with in the United States. I just don't know like if YouTube's cool with it, but if they're not cool with it, worst thing they do is take my video down or the stream down, you know what I mean? I don't think they're against it though. I just haven't really looked into it too much. Because poker's not, I'll be honest, it's not something I play all that much. Like, before this last weekend, I hadn't played it in over, like, maybe... Man, I don't even know how long it had been. I was gonna say 2 months, but it'd probably been, like, 5 or 6. That'd be funny that we switch to poker and we just get 10 times more profitable than we are at trading. That would be so funny. I'll think about doing one this weekend though. It's Wednesday right now. I know everyone's in different time zones in the world though, so I don't know how that would work. Like if I did like a Saturday night, Eastern Standard Time. That is a 2.36 R. You think just putting on high risk reward trade after a high risk reward trade would work out after a while, but I'm having a hard time getting my trades to go 100%. We got what we got 18 minutes until news comes out. We're going to find out if the spread widens like crazy or not on Funding Pips here live. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, we'll try some live poker this weekend. Just to hang out. We never really got a chance, none of us ever get a chance to hang out on the weekend, so we'll try to do just a small little poker stream on like Saturday. Alright, we're gonna just stick around. I don't imagine it's gonna fully ride one way or the other during this folder. It could. But that being said, we're probably gonna close the stream off like shortly after. And if it hasn't hit TP or stop loss, we're just gonna let it play behind the scenes. Yeah, I had a feeling USN that wasn't gonna pull back too deep for too long. Yeah, US dollar yen's just bullish across the board right now. I see it still coming up. If I was a gambling man, I'd probably put a position on US yen right now as well. But I've got burned enough from doing stuff like that, so we're gonna stick with our one position right now. And we're risking like 1.6% on this trade. And that's gonna be my only risk for today. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Alright. Alright. Are you guys in anything right now? Alright, what do we got? We got 11 minutes. Let's see if my theory's right. What we'll probably do though is we'll probably cover our risk. I don't know if there's room to do that though. Yeah, covering our risk, we might as well literally just close the trade. We'll let it go. You only can't trade news when you really think that the news is random. If you have the belief that the news is random, then that's like the only reason you can't trade it. Or if the spread just widens like crazy. So, but when I was trading on E8, I took like 2 or 3 trades and held them into news, and they all played out on the audition. And I've done that so many times before. It was just in the live account. I've only ever had problems on prop firms with trading news. They have the settings so like twisted, or at least E8 did. This E8 had the settings so that the spread widened like 20 pips. It doesn't mean funding pips is gonna be like that though, but we'll see. It really shouldn't be like that in the audition. Yes, John, TP smash. ×2. Yeah, hopefully we get slipped on our take profit. That's never gonna happen though. It's funny, the settings at E8 would never work that way, I guarantee it. They would never slip you on your take profit. Not for good, at least. I need some breakfast. I usually don't eat this early, but I'm hungry. Like, I'm really hungry right now. We'll get off soon though. We got a little bit of time left. Price is starting to push. Remembering that we're below this level right now. It's an institutional level. Like, does it have to get respected? No, but these daily lows, like, these are the levels that the institutions are paying attention to, right? And the fact that we're trading back below it, like, even more so than any candle range theory or anything, we've got literally structure on our side. Like, high time frame institutional structure, at least on the daily time frame, right? In the 4 hours following suit. And we got time of day. We're finally in a trade at 9 a.m. again. So time of day is definitely something in our favor too. Let's just try to go back here, because this is like actually our trade. Try to like set it up nicer. There we go. Let's just go to the 15 minute. There's no point looking at the 5 minute. If you guys watch Psy too, a lot of his trades are like, the news will carry them to where he wants them to go. Now, we're not anything close to the level Psy's at yet, but it's something I noticed he does, so it's like, if he could get away with it, let's see if we can too. This has a timer. Match Trader doesn't really have a timer, does it? I'm trying to see if they've got one anywhere. I guess they've got a timer up here, but that's like not really that helpful. Six minutes. We will see if fundamentals override technicals or if technicals override fundamentals. Here's a perfect example. I think last Wednesday had news too. And I think that trade probably got carried by news. Let me see. Maybe not. No, it doesn't look like anything came out at 8:30. Or no, it wouldn't have been 8:30. It would have been 10. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm making stuff up. We'll watch the trade on Match Trader though, because more than anything too, we want to know if this is something we can even do. And mainly looking at the spread. Right now, which you can see, the spread's pretty much next to zero. It's 0.1 pips. Hopefully we're in this trade still. Hopefully it's not pushing against us. Let me see if we're still below that level though. We're getting back above it. That's the thing. That daily level right now, we're getting back above it. So that's not what you want to see. That's definitely not what you want to see. We want to maintain below it. But we haven't even started to close above here yet on really any time frame, probably except the 1 minute. And here's the thing. This trade is risking $840. So not only will we see the spread wide, but we're risking 840 to make 1,985. So 800 to make 2,000. So we need to see too, like slippage wise, on either take profit or stop loss, how bad it is. It looks like we're getting back below that level. See, that daily level is super important. It's super important. Ugh. Man, I don't think any 5-minute candle closed above. Now, see, it's rejecting that level again. There's 1 minute left. Remember, our stop loss is already behind the most recent grab of liquidity. So, that is, there's something to be said about that when going into this. So for us to get hit, this trade just has to be flat out wrong. We got 30 seconds. I did kind of grab the low of this 4 hour, this previous 4 hour, but it's not really an established point of liquidity. I guess a little bit. We'll see though. We're gonna find out right now, literally. I'm paying attention to the spread though more than I am to anything else, just so you guys know. Spread's up to 2 pips. Spread's not kicking up, so everyone see that? The spread's not kicking higher. The trade's kicking higher, but the spread's not. So we know in our auditions now that they don't screw us. It's just, I mean, if we get nothing else out of today, we at least get that knowledge. Dang, we got hit though. All right, they didn't kick the spread higher, but they definitely kicked price higher. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Let me see too if we got slipped bad at all though. No, we lost about that 800, so that was right. We lost about that 800. If it turns now and with the liquidity grab gets liquidity grab, that's gonna suck. Alright guys, let's close this one out. We're gonna close out in prayer like we always do, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Father, we just come to you in the name of Jesus. We just thank you for this time that we got to spend with each other this morning. We just thank you for bringing this community together and just helping us to stay disciplined and keep our head up and to keep on going even when the journey gets tough. But Father, we just pray that you would guide us in the right direction, the path that is going to lead to consistency for us to be able to provide for our families in the future and to provide for whatever situations we're going through in our lives right now. And we just ask for your help in it, and we just we can't do it without you. So we just pray that you would guide us to that place of wisdom and knowledge that will help us to just navigate our lives and the markets. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, we're gonna be back tomorrow. A little bit longer of a stream today, but we'll be back. Trade just did not play out today. Fundamentals did override technicals, so we will be back tomorrow though. Love y'all.